Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. Everything kind of went buck wild last time. We've got a kind of a revolution going on in here. But I'm not necessarily worried about that. Um, However, there's one change I'm going to make, which is I think I'm going to let these coal mines wait for a bit and work on getting universities built, because that will actually increase the strength of the intelligentsia, which might make this easier to do. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get going here. So there are a lot of small changes you can make in the way your country runs in order to increase the power of various interest groups, and that's an important part of making sure that your country grows effectively. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish here. Come on, public schools, give me a success. Give me something. Give me a good event. This is really pretty surprising. Almost never had a thing go rough like this, but it is what it is. So we have our revolutionary event. Backrub deals. Gosh. This is that same one as we've been always having. I'm going to try this. Oh, I got the bad result. Alright. So, revolutionaries raid arms depot. A band of revolutionaries rumored to affiliate with the Church of Sweden have overwhelmed a minor garrison in Zealand, leaving 24 soldiers dead and running off with crates full of rifles and ammunition, even wheeling off a small caliber cannon. 200 pounds per man captured or killed. 50 pounds for information leading to the capture or death of culprits. Believed armed and dangerous collaborators will be considered equally guilty. Scour the countryside for them. This reduces agriculture throughput and reduces radicals from standard of living decreases. Chance of advancing the Civil War, chance of slowing it down. Or reduce urban center throughput. We'll do this one. This one's got a higher chance of reducing Civil War progress. Gosh. Well, at the very least, it'll lose progress next time it checks because it's above its maximum. These are bananas. Got a market access problem in Scania. Let's see if anyone who would. No one wants defensive pact. That's sad, because I would really love to have some backup in the event of this situation going bonkers. Again, I don't really think it will, but, like, it sure would be nice. This whole public schools thing is going really rough. I think if I get one more setback, I might just abandon it and go to private schools. But, I don't know. It's wild. I'm starting to get some serious disapproval from radicals from this revolution. The procession of provocations. Dissidents in Zealand have announced plans for a major march around government offices in the near future. While they profess peaceful intentions and claim everyone will be unarmed, the march itself will obviously serve as a rallying point for those unhappy with the government. That damn parade and their infernal music, I can't even see them from here, but I can hear them loud and clear. We stop them. If we let the procession go on, we'll get 5% of lower strata pops radicalizing, 50% chance of reduction in Civil War progress, 50% chance of increase. Stop that march by any means necessary. 33% chance pops radicalize. 33% chance of 5% progress and 10% pops radicalized, so a big bad result. And 33% chance of reduced Civil War progress. I'm going to go with this first one. And we'll see what happens. Dang. I think that was the major bad result, friends. Yeah, we're at pretty high turmoil now. Gosh. Is Schleswig-Holstein also having turmoil? Ugh. Alright. Let's get these ones here started first. Again, part of our goal with building these universities is we want to try to increase the power of the intelligentsia in the country, because that will increase overall. So this is the inefficient agriculture event again. Once again, I'm going to simply let the industrialists be mad because they're very happy with the current situation. I don't have any capacity to get the government more legitimate. Excuse me. So this is kind of a rough situation. Sedition amongst members of the Church of Sweden. Prominent members of the Church of Sweden have been found to be using their privileged position in society to encourage radically anti-government activities. Sweden is split between two irreconcilable camps, said the priest. One of them pursues a policy of anti-Swedish and anti-religious terror. The other side pursues a policy of respect for God and seeks to restore national order. With this in mind, who else could any good-hearted person stand behind? They're not sacrosanct as long as they continue to meddle in politics. That'll reduce their power, but make them more radical and reduce the civil war. We cannot become known as executioners or priests. That'll make them stronger. Yeah, I mean, we gotta do this. We keep getting things that reduce the power of the Church of Sweden. I'm hoping that over time we can parlay this into actually getting their power down to the point where they can't do a revolution, but it doesn't seem to be working for now. Come on. How come I miss a 26% chance like 6 times in a row, but then get a 20% chance 2 times in a row when it's something bad? Ugh. So probably I'm going to get an event pretty shortly that will knock this out. And that will reset this back to 13. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. For the moment, though, I'm going to put those down there. And we're going to keep working on building these universities. I still might try to get these coal mines knocked out, but Scania is low on market access right now. And we don't have railways researched yet, so... the reason I'm putting these in a row here is because these are going to... Actually, this one can go at the bottom as well, because Gotland has functionally no unemployed population. Because these ones, particularly these ones in the capital, will have a much more dramatic effect on the power of the intelligentsia than the other thing, than the other ones. So it looks like I'm not going to get a setback from this. Revolutionary standoff in Schleswig-Holstein. Alright. A group of militants have locked themselves in a church with a stockpile of ammunition and firearms. They fired upon all government personnel attempting to seize the building. The church's wood was scarred by bullets, and yet its oaken doors stood firm. Tangled corpses rested on the street outside, from where they had caught the brunt of the first volley. From every window, gunfire blazed, forcing policemen and soldiers to lower their heads below the barricades. A man in a uniform turned to another, searching for an answer to the situation. Shell the building. Ugh. A lot of pops become radical, and Schleswig-Holstein gets devastation. Or dispatch a negotiator. Schleswig-Holstein gets government appeasement, which reduces mortality but increases state penalties from turmoil. It makes everyone more radical. And I mean, we gotta bomb this church. Is not a thing I expected I was going to say today, but it is what it is. Interestingly, the chance of Schleswig-Holstein being the site of rebellion seems to be basically none. But it's a bit of an odd duck. It's interesting. We'll see. We'll see how things go. I would really... Oh my goodness, France is in civil war. Gosh. Oh, did I not improve relations? No, I improved relations with the original France. No, I didn't. Curious. The French are having a military revolt. Huh. Strange government. Alright. Vox Diaboli. The Sveiland protesters under Karl Friedrich of Lingard have called for a violent revolt, with Jewish people scapegoated for their current woes. To be sure, one cannot misinterpret the voice of the people for the voice of God. One should mind that the archenemy knows Scripture better than they do. Indeed, it is in these sweet silver-tongued sermons that stroke strife. The cost is invariably a tidal wave of blood. Gag the ringleaders, increase revolutionary progress, reduces Church of Sweden's support and approval, and Jewish pops become more radicalized. Post soldiers outside of Jewish congregations. Protestant pops become more radical. Jewish pops become more loyalist. Address some of the Protestants' concerns. Jewish pops become more lateral. Church of Sweden increases approval. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think that's going to help, so I'm just going to go with this one to, again, reduce their capacity for doing stuff. Again, this is going to go back down next week, and if I can keep getting events that don't increase it, we'll be able to be good to go. Come on, 4%. Let's do it. Still building all these universities. The universities do cost money, but they're important for this thing. I don't know that this is actually going to be able to work. Popular outreach. Rudolph Ernius has embarked on a week-long tour of the countryside to spread awareness of the need for public schools amongst the rural folk. Happy it is indeed for me that my heart is capable of feeling the same simple and innocent pleasure as the peasant whose table is covered with food in his own rearing, and who not only enjoys his meal but remembers with delight the happy days and sunny mornings when he planted it, the soft evenings when he watered it, and the pleasure he experienced in watching its daily growth. A noble cause, and with luck a popular one as well. Plus 10% enactment chance. Rural folk get happier. Why not? Why care for an outside? Well, I definitely don't want that, so we'll do this one. We're back up to 14%. Heavy-handedness. Oscar Bernadotte mistook an enemy in the landowners after accusing them with false charges. Moderates in the landowners defected to the Church of Sweden's cause. The bedfellows may not be so accommodating. The landowners in the Church of Sweden get stronger. Or Otto Palmstierna, the leader of the landowners, gets weaker. 50% of each, and increase civil war progress by 5. While Oscar Bernadotte should stand down. Failures of a judgment. Ugh. Can't take that, so it's going to have to be this one. Didn't they get stronger? I'm not sure, honestly. It's wild. Alright, organized crime. Criminal organizations have begun... Ooh, Bessemer process. That is something we need. Just alter the production method for our steel mills here. It doesn't matter if we arrest one person or solve one crime. It will keep going unless we go all the way to the top. Put some funds into stomping out the organizations. I'm sure the authorities can handle it. Yeah, we're going to throw money at this problem. Finances are not doing super well right now because of all the universities, but it's a process. Knowledge of railways has started to spread to us. I guess that's good. I'm going to put a diplomatic interest there. Maybe we can earn ourselves a defensive pact. You know, this run has gone really wild. I think I might... When you have a hammer... General Axel Marner, noting unrest in Zealand, has proposed using the army to suppress agitation in the area. While his political allies support him, there's heavy risk following his plan. It's simply an army. It's simple. We have an army and there is an enemy. Let me deploy my men and do what is needed, and the enemy shall be vanquished. That's all there is to it. Reprimand the general and reject the plan. That'll make the armed forces salty. Or we must use the tools we have to solve the problems we have. So, I think, interestingly, I'm going to go for this one, because while we're at our natural maximum for this, so while the chance of getting an increase is larger than the chance of getting a decrease, I think either way I'm okay with it, because if it goes up, then next round it'll go down instead of going up. Yeah, so it's going to lose progress next check. So I'm actually happy with that overall result. Hey, friends. You want to be friends? Actually, wait. Hey, Austria. I see. So when we get to 20, Austria will be willing to form a defensive pact with us. And that'll put us in very good stead. Again, this appears to have been steadily going up, which is interesting. Again, I did not expect us to be having to deal with a revolution over public schooling. But it's the path that we have to take. Trade agreement with Great Britain. Heck yes. Would you like to supplement that with a defensive pact? It's 300. And they don't want to. What about you? You're still... No. You're feeling protective of us, but not protective enough to, like, form a defensive pact, which makes me sad, because take 300. Okay, I'm going to rival Netherlands back, since they're rivaling us. That would give us some extra, it's mutual, and that would give us some extra influence. So why don't you want a defensive pact? Because they're higher ranked than us, because they've already got a bunch of defensive pacts. because they have... We don't have very high power projection, which is something that comes from having a strong army. Street side standoff. Troops in Schleswig-Holstein have reported more and more confrontations with belligerent mobs. Fighting will likely break out soon if nothing is ordered. There's only two ways to control the situation. Either pull the troops back or tell them to engage. The soldier shuffled nervously where he stood, shifting the weight of his gun back and forth as he stared at the crowd stirring far too close by. He thought he recognized some of those faces, or would have, if they weren't twisted in utter loathing of him and his uniform. What was he even doing? Was he standing with the right people? Order withdrawal. Extra state penalties from turmoil, 50% chance of increase or decrease. Our men are professionals, they can maintain discipline where they are. Larger chance of a decrease, but higher mortality. Ugh. I mean, I think the state penalties from turmoil are worse, frankly, so I'm gonna go with this. Dang. Some concerns. Well, I can't afford to reduce the power of the intelligentsia, so I'm gonna increase this. Come on, move to ascent. Again. Oh no, this is a good one. No. Without a clause, petit bourgeois and armed forces. The petit bourgeoisie and the armed forces are split over the semantics of a clause regarding public schools. I would call attention to the statute forbidding the bearing of armor within this mighty institution. What's the issue this time? The wording does not specify whether one is only wearing armor or if one possesses it within the premises. One might simply be carrying an ornament, and thus in breach of law. Oh boy, this is a silly one. I think we're going to go with the armed forces on this, because the armed forces are the government. Also, the armed forces being happy is very important in this whole affair. Anyway, they're going to lose progress next time a check happens, so I'm not too worried about that. If I can get some options that actually go okay with that, I'll be very pleased. Recruit a new general. You're a Republican. That's good. We got railways. That's very good. And you're a royalist. That's fine. Excuse me. Knowledge of cannery is spreading to us. Things are really popping off over here. Rural folk are sowing discord. The rural folk are furious with the government, and it seems they may join the current revolution if we cannot appease them. We know better than any the cost of war, the devastation of burnt fields and ransacked cottages. We would not take up arms unless we had no other recourse. Do not use this as an excuse to test our patience. Without us, Sweden starves. Are they? They're only -1. Let us hope concessions now can be the seed of peace for the future. They get increased political strength and approval. They'll get nothing from us. They become insurrectionary. Reduce their approval by -7. They sow... Jesus. Alright, let's go with this first one. I don't mind the rural folk being stronger by any stretch of the imagination. I think that'll help things get better. As you can see, this check happened and the revolution went down, and it's still going to go down. I feel like I was having really good luck the last time I played as Sweden, but today we're just having a real dickens of a time. This has gone really, really sideways. I have to say, although the fact that these chances have freaking never been able to get going has been really rough. To be completely honest, I think I might give this one more round and then just bail, because this waffling around never getting any success is making me feel very sad. And now I'm in a situation where my gold reserves are being depleted even as my economy increases, and that's not making me feel good, and this whole situation is pretty rough, I must say. This should go. No, it's higher now. Hens of the state. Did he smash his head into the cell wall? Was he tortured to death? The official story of the that the Church of Sweden affiliated revolutionary died from cholera convinces only the gullible and the willfully blind. Only one thing is for certain: his supporters are livid and they are out for blood. It was the Freemasons, I tell you. I heard it from the butcher down the road that the warden's a member of that accused cabal. It's them or the Ashkenazis, or both. The king is one of them, too. That's why they offed him. The king's Ashkenazi? Listen, kid, he says, blowing a cloud of thick smoke into the dimly lit room. There's a lot of things they don't teach you in school. Oh, boy. Murderers, cries the crowd, increases the Civil War progress by 10%. And increases Church of Sweden's strength, or only God and the warden knows for sure. Let us kindly ask the latter. Gets prison stormed by crowd for 5 years, plus 10 political movement radicalism. Zealand gets 3% devastation. Well, it's got to be this one. 10%, but it'll fall back next week. And still maxing out at 72. I'm going to see what this happens, and if we don't get a success roll during this thing, I am going to bail off of this, because this revolution is getting crazy. I can't believe this. They're at 8%. Golly. I have to say, I really do like the new revolution mechanics. Like, I think they make revolutions a lot more dynamic and interesting. But boy, howdy, are they a little bit hard to handle in certain contexts. Tuscany and Medina are rivals. Position members put forth demands. Ooh. So, more pragmatically inclined members of the Church of Sweden, currently opposed to the passing of public schools, have offered to change their stance, where they offered certain political concessions. Such concessions would not be popular with the intelligentsia, however. Compromise makes a good umbrella, but a poor roof. It is a temporary expedient, often wise in party politics, almost sure to be unwise in statesmanship. So we can acquiesce to the demands. This gets us plus 15% enactment success chance, but it makes the intelligentsia salty, which again, I can afford. Compromise is a tool of the weak, reduces the success chance and makes the intelligentsia happy. Or a prime opportunity to break the bill from deadlock. Moves forward one phase. Increase enactment time -6. I'm gonna go with this first one. We got a 29% chance now. I'm gonna try to make this happen. I'm gonna try it again. Hopefully, we'll get one success. We got a 29% chance, which is almost 30%. So hopefully we'll get success, and this should go down and keep going down since its limit is 74%. And if I can keep from picking events that cause extra revolution to be generated, then we'll all be... Oh, no event this time. Interesting. It's just going to keep going down for the moment. Well, that's good. I'm pleased about that. hopefully we'll be able to keep getting good luck with that stuff. And in the meantime, maybe this will get to where it needs to be. I've been having really, really rotten luck with these. I mean, this has been just bonkers. Really bananas. How hard this has been to get past. And again, its success chance has been equal to its success chance this whole time. So if I can get it to, well, I still need to get it. I still need to pass a cent for it to actually pop. You see, now I'm feeling like I should have gone with the one that lets me get in a full entire phase, but I don't want to piss the intelligentsia off, because that's going to reduce the legitimacy of my government. Ooh. Interesting. So that's neat. I did get General Staff, which is an interesting thing. Skinia and Götaland are going to go for the revolutionaries. For sure. And then Jutland and Zealand could go. I keep waiting on this. No. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have the barracks in the capital go to the better infantry, and I'm just going to buy the ammunition I need from abroad. From Prussia. And I'm going to do the same with Norland. No barracks in Norland. I'm going to do the same with Schleswig-Holstein. What that's going to do is it's going to give me a slight advantage if there's a revolution in those areas. This is going to go down during its next checkpoint. It's going to go down during its next checkpoint again. Oh, interesting. This fell back a little bit. %16.3%. Heck. January 1st. This is 7 weeks. It's December 22nd. It's interesting. It's kind of waffling a bit. Well, we'll see how it goes. Golly. I was thinking about reducing government wages in order to increase my overall, to improve my financial situation, but again, going into debt's not a tragedy. Thought and action. The armed forces are dissatisfied with the inclusion of the intelligentsia in the Swedish government. You keep talking about taking risks. To be bold, to dare to dream. Do you even know what that means? Are you a risk to anything other than your own rotten reputation? Respect the soldiers who protect your right to pontificate. That makes the intelligentsia mad. Do what you do best, soldiers, and follow orders. That makes the soldiers mad. Or, the nation needs protection from both armies and bad ideas. 25% reduction in authority. Alright, well, Intelligentsia, I'm going to go back to that well again. Because they're the people who are benefiting the most from my government. So hopefully this will be a reduction again. Because this seems to be holding this radicalism level. Okay, cool. If we can get, if we get a success here, I'm gonna do it, and if we don't, I'm gonna bail. And let it go, because this is very... Alright. Alright, we're gonna do it. It's getting down to the wire. It's getting down to HBO's The Wire. Come on, 30%. Oh, this is very silly. This is very silly. Although I kind of love this storyline. The Swedish Civil War over public schools storyline. This is wonderfully Victoria 3. This game just has so many moments where the most sideways thing produces a civil war. But with that having been said, we've been going for another 2 years, and I think that's all the time we've got for this episode. I thought we were going to finish this out in this one, but it's just going to have to be for next time. So I've had fun. I hope you've had fun, and I'll see y'all on the other side.